Today's how to build is on Bonnie, Toy Bonnie, Withered Bonnie, and Springtrap from Five Nights at Freddy's.
If you like this video, here are some other how to build videos you might enjoy.
This is going to be a long video with a big introduction. If you want to jump ahead into the building sections, use the table of contents links in the video description. I heard you loud and clear, Bonnie, 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 Bonnie. There were over 740 comments requesting Bonnie or some variant of Bonnie, whether that was Withered Bonnie, Old Bonnie, Toy Bonnie, Bonnie Bonnie, whatever Bonnie. And there were also over 300 comments requesting Springtrap. So I thought I would do one video on Bonnie and the variants of Bonnie and Springtrap, since Springtrap is very similar in shape and size. I already have lots of comments requesting everything else from Five Nights at Freddy's. The next animatronic that I will do a how to build on will be Chica. It'll probably be about 2 months until I have that complete, so please be patient. It takes me a long time to gather pieces and put these videos together. So I also wanted to let you all know that I am currently working on a super secret animation project. The good news is that I'll have a new animation to share with you in 2016. It won't be part of the Nightly News at 9 series, but it will be fun and awesome. The bad news is that means I won't have as much time for how to build videos, so I'm going to do those every couple months, but focus more weekly on the review videos since it's much easier to get those out. Thanks for being patient. It takes a long time to make awesome things out of Lego. I am currently in Battle of the Brick Flicks, Round 2. I put a link in the description. Please go there and vote for me. My video, Robophilia vs. Grabor, is up against a Santa video, so please go there and vote in the comments for me. I've already seen some of you there voting, so thank you for that. Other news, I will be at Brick World Chicago in June, if you want to see my Five Nights at Freddy's creations in person, or my Minecraft stuff, or my other cool how to build videos, and come say hi to me, you can come see me at Brickworld Chicago in June. I'll put a link in the description for that as well. Alright, I think that's enough for housekeeping notes. Let's get into building. All the different characters we're building today are going to be the same basic design with a few tweaks, but the main difference for all the different characters is the color palette that you use. So I wanted to talk through some of the different color options that exist in Lego, so that can help you decide which pieces you need to pull from your collection or find in new Lego sets or buy online in order to create Bonnie, Toy Bonnie, or Springtrap. So for regular Bonnie or Withered Bonnie, you want to use a shade of purple. I'm going to refer to all of these colors by the Bricklink name for them, since that's the website I use to look at Lego pieces. I use this version of purple that's in the center at the bottom here. It's called Dark Purple. It's got one of the best selection of pieces in a variant of purple. In the top left here, we can also see the purple color. This is an older color that was used in Throwbot sets and Cyberslam sets and a bunch of stuff that's pretty old. It's a very limited palette of pieces. Here's what Bonnie looks like when I tried to build Bonnie out of this purple color rather than the dark purple. So it's a very limited palette, but if you've got some of those, it is possible to scrape together a Bonnie, so that is an option. The other option you have for Bonnie is to go with just regular blue. It's not a perfect match for the color, but there's a lot of parts available in blue. Purple and dark purple are pretty limited. If you want to have a really consistent color across your Bonnie, use blue. I ended up using a bunch of blue pieces in my dark purple Bonnie just because they don't exist at all in dark purple. So blue is probably going to figure into your mix either way. For the highlight color on Bonnie, for the inside of the ears, the top of the nose, and the fur on the chest, you're going to want to use a lighter shade of purple. The color I used for the detail color on Bonnie is medium lavender. It's this color in the bottom center here. Medium lavender, I think, works really well with dark purple and has a pretty good selection of pieces. Regular lavender is a nice shade as well, but it's a pretty limited selection of pieces. All I had were a couple of these flower pieces from the elves sets. You could also use pink. So on the left here is what I believe is called bright pink, which is the modern day pink, as opposed to regular pink, which is an old pink. Lots of pinks. In the back here, some other colors you might also think about are dark pink and magenta. I'm not as much of a fan of those here, but they kind of still fit within the same family of colors. For Toy Bonnie, the best color that I found is dark azure. That's the color in the bottom, in the middle here. You could also use medium azure, which is the color in the top center here. You could also just think about using regular blue on the left or medium blue on the right. They're all relatively good. Again, it's really about what color do you have a lot of pieces in and the specific pieces you're going to need for Toy Bonnie. For Springtrap, I decided to go a route that was much more in the realm of tan and dark tan for the sort of different shades of Springtrap's body. I know a lot of people have been using yellow or gold for Springtrap, but looking at screenshots from the game, Springtrap doesn't really look yellow. It's a very dirty and not really a bright yellow. So I didn't feel that the regular Lego yellow, which is a very bright yellow, really represented what Springtrap looked like. Similar to gold, I think gold is a little shinier than it looked like. So I think tan is a great color for the main part of Springtrap with dark tan for accents. But there are parts of Springtrap that are kind of green, kind of look like they're covered in moss or something. So olive green, which is in the top right here, would be a great accent color if you've got a lot of that. I don't, so I didn't use olive green. And you could probably use some of this sand green as well if you think that works. But that was my thoughts on Springtrap. But again, you can use whatever colors you think look best on Springtrap. A great tool for looking at Lego colors and what pieces are available in that color is the colors page on Bricklink. I'll put a link to that in the description. What's great about that site is it has a list of all the colors with an image of what that color is, and then it has a link to every single piece that exists in that color, and you can see what Lego sets those pieces come in. You can also see who is selling them online. Bricklink is just a really great resource for finding different Lego pieces. It's how I get a lot of my unique and special pieces. Enough about colors, let's talk about minifigs. So unfortunately, there are not a lot of good minifigure pieces for building a purist version of Bonnie without doing any customization. The best head I could find for a uncustomized version of Bonnie is this Zurg head from Toy Story. It's the only purple head that has anything even remotely resembling ears with these silver horns. The eyes and mouth are also kind of scary in a robotic way. Doesn't really look like Bonnie, but it was the best I could do. This is just a purple torso turned around backwards, one of the Space Police torsos. I put a little red neckerchief there to be the bow tie. Ran out of purple hands here, so I'm just using blue. So not very inspiring. There is the bunny suit guy from the collectible minifigure series. So if you wanted to get this and paint it purple, that would be a way to do a custom Bonnie. But since I only have one of these rabbit suits, I wasn't willing to paint it purple for this video. Since they go for about $30 online now. Same with the Zurg figure, actually. I think it goes about $20 or $30. But I do like this Insectoid's head as kind of a Bonnie head. It's blue, but not a lot of exciting options for doing a minifig scaled Bonnie, which is why I focused more on Doublefigs. You can get a pretty decent uncustomized Toy Bonnie if you use the Simpsons Itchy head. I thought that was a pretty good fit for the Bonnie in terms of color and the fact that it has some big ears, not quite the right shape, but the best you're going to get without doing something custom from scratch. I'm using dark azure torso and legs here. This is from the Alien Defense Unit. This is an ice cream character whose name is Mike. Interesting. Read into that what you will. Five Nights at Freddy's conspiracy theorists. And I'm using blue hands here because dark azure, there's only a couple characters that have hands in that color. For Springtrap, I mixed together tan and dark tan pieces with some light flesh and medium flesh hands. This head I'm using is by Crazy Bricks. It's from their Pigs vs. Cow series. I liked it because it has a broken horn, which kind of relates to Springtrap's broken ear. I know it's got other ears there too, but in terms of heads that are this shape, there's not a lot to choose from. You could use some other kind of Legends of Chima's head here if you have them. I don't really have many Legends of Chima pieces though. So overall, not a lot of great options for minifig versions of these characters, unless you're willing to paint and build something, sculpt something. Now let's move on to Doublefig Bonnie. To start off Doublefig Bonnie, you want to get a minifig torso, legs, and hands in dark purple. It's hard to find a plain dark purple torso, so this is just one turned around backwards. I think this is from Exoforce, maybe? I'll put links in the description to where you can find dark purple legs, torsos, and hands. Then you want to do a neck bracket over the top and put a medium lavender 1x2 plate here to represent the fur on Bonnie's chest. The core of Bonnie's head is going to be a blue headlight brick, purple if it existed, then a 1x1 plate of any color or shape, and then a Travis brick on the top there. For the front, if you have a neck bracket in red, that's great, because then the little bit of red on the bottom can represent the bow tie. Use a purple jumper plate if you've got it. They're pretty rare, so you might have to use blue. Then 2 1x1 rounds in white. Then a medium lavender 1x2. Then you're going to take a black 1x1 round with a hole in it and stick it on the top. If you want to get fancy and make this fit a little bit better, you can cut that 1x1 round so that the bottom part comes off and you're left with just the top. And that fits in very nicely. But I know many of you don't like modifying Lego pieces, so don't have to do that if you don't want to modify a Lego piece. It'll just make it fit a little bit better. On the front, this is a 1x2 plate in purple with some 1x1 round tiles with eye printed on them. I moved from the 1x1 white rounds with hole in it to this eye tile for my Doublefig animatronics because I ran out of the white 1x1 rounds with holes in it, and I think the eye tiles do a pretty good job here as well. For each side, I've got one of these 1x2 downward curvy slopes and a 1x1 round in purple. On the bottom, stick one of those on each side. For the back of the head, do a 1x2 tile across the bottom, then a 1x2 tile sticking up. You could also do it that way, but it's nice to try and cover up that little bit of black on the back. And then for the ears, you need a Technic T connector. I'm using gray because I think it makes a little bit of the endoskeleton show through nicely, but you could also use black if you want. And then you're going to get purple hands and purple arms. Stick one on that side. Stick one on that side. I like the little nub of the arm. It looks like the little bent top of Bonnie's ears. So I think that works out really nicely. You're going to stick that on, and it combines nicely together. And now you've got your Doublefig Bonnie. I almost forgot. You can give Bonnie this red guitar from the collectible minifigure series. Not quite the right shape as Bonnie's guitar, but works pretty well to be the guitar. Put the hand up so Bonnie can play. And then put Bonnie on stage with Freddy Fazbear singing his microphone. Now we just need a Chica to complete the band. I want to show you another option you can do for the ears if you don't have those connector piece or the hands. So this is a 1x2 plate with 2 clips in it. It's important that it has the 2 clips because you're only going to get to connect it once. So connect on the back. This is the medium lavender sponge piece that comes in some Friends sets. So you can connect those, and then you can put some 1x2 tiles down here to kind of connect it on the back. You will have that bit of gray showing through, but that's okay. And then you can close up the top here with a 1x2 tile. Not as nice looking as the other ear options, but still pretty decent ears for Bonnie if you want to do it that way. Another option you could do is use a blue 1x2 with handles on it. You could use these magenta pieces, 1x1 plate with circle clip. This is really the only piece in the Bonnie color spectrum that can fit on a clip or a handle. Again, do some 1x2 tiles to cover up the back. And then for the ears, you could do 1x2 tiles or some 1x2 curvy downward slopes if you want. And maybe fill in this with some magenta flowers. Not as great of ears, but you can bend them up and down, and it can work if that's all you've got. I once again changed my Doublefig Freddy to match my Bonnie. So I changed the top of his snout here to be tan rather than brown. And I did the same sort of neck bracket and a 1x2 tile in tan for his stomach rather than focusing on the bow tie. And then I changed his eyes as well. That way they make a better pair. And I also changed my Foxy to have the same eyepiece, and I think they look pretty cool as a group of 3. If you want to turn Bonnie into Withered Bonnie, simply remove the eyepiece and remove the lavender plate and the 1x1 round on top of it. Once you've removed those, you'll also want to pull off this arm carefully. And after you remove that arm, you'll also want to replace this hand with a gray hand. So yeah, that's how you can turn Bonnie into Withered Bonnie. For Toy Bonnie, you're going to want to get a dark azure torso. Steve from Minecraft has a great torso you can steal. Bye bye, Steve. For the hands, there are dark azure hands, but they're pretty rare. The Chica sets with the characters with frozen arms have them. Otherwise, you can use blue hands. I have a mix here. These dark azure legs came from the roller derby girl. On top of the torso, once you've got that all together, put a minifig neck bracket. Use black. The color isn't super important because it's not very noticeable. Then a tile for the belly fur. The head's going to be very much like Bonnie's. Blue headlight brick on the bottom, 1x1 of some color or shape in the middle, Travis brick on the top. Then use a neck bracket in red if you've got it. Put a white jumper plate for the bottom of the mouth, some black 1x1 rounds in the center, 1x2 plate in white on the top, and then for the nose, again, use a black 1x1 round with hole in it. Rare piece, but very useful here. For the front, 1x2 plate in dark azure, 2 eye tiles. Now you'll see, because I haven't cut this piece in half, this connection is not really great. It's kind of a dangerous connection that'll fall off pretty easily, so be careful with that. That's why I modified that piece, the other one. For the side, 1x2 dark azure tile. For the side, 1x2 dark azure plate, 1x1 round in red. One of those on each side. Nice red cheeks there for our Toy Bonnie. On the back, 1x1 tile. I only had medium blue here, but works pretty well. And then you can do 1x2 plate above that. For the top, we're again going to use one of these T connector pieces in gray. And then, again, I only have blue hands left because I only had one of those in dark azure. And then dark azure arms, we've stole from a Minifig torso. And connect it all together. Then you've got Toy Bonnie, the Doublefig. Looks pretty good. Can give Bonnie a red guitar, fit in the band. For Springtrap, starting with some 1x1 plates with clip on them in light gray 1x1 rounds on top. For the feet, then I'm using a dark tan 1x2 pillow brick, represent the legs. The torso is a tan torso, but then I've got dark tan arm, light flesh hand, medium flesh hand, different shades because Springtrap is kind of decayed and has different colors going on. Over the shoulder neck piece, a 1x2 dark tan tile for the fuzziness of the belly. The core again is a headlight brick, this time in tan, 1x1 any shape or color. Travis brick for the front, neck bracket, jumper plate, 2 1x1 rounds, 1x2 plate, and a black 1x1 with a hole through it. Same thing we did for the other two. Connect that real quick. Tan 1x1 plate with the eyepieces. Beware of the not so great connection here. On each side, this is a 1x2 plate with a 1x1 tile and a 1x1 round plate. Get a little texture to the side of the head. On the back, do the same thing we did for Bonnie, 1x2 tile, 1x2 tile. The top, again, is a T-piece with some hands and arms, except we only need one arm this time because Springtrap has a broken ear. There you go, connect all that together, and you've got your Springtrap Doublefig. It's a regular Doublefig animatronic party here. I'm a little scared. Now that we're done with the Doublefigs, let's move on to the action figure Bonnie. Let's start with a leg of action fig Bonnie, 2x3 plate, some 1x1 round plates. Connect a round plate into the bottom of a 1x1 brick. Connect that into the center of the back of the 2x3 plate. Then do a 1x2 upward slope, 1x2 upward slope, and a 1x1 brick. There's various ways you could build this section. This is just what I was able to do with the pieces I had. So build 2 of those legs. 1, 2. For the hips, you need a 3x3 area. So I have a 2x3, a 1x2, and a 1x1 round because I don't have 1x3 plates or 1x1 square plates in purple. Do another layer of that on top of that. You gotta do what you gotta do when you're working in purple. Dark purple, I should say. And then fill in the center here with some 1x1 rounds. So 1, 2, 1. And then you can go ahead and connect the legs. Oh, that one went on backwards. Then you can twist the feet a little bit. For the torso, we're going to start off with another 3x3 plate section. So again, I've got a 2x3, a 1x2, and a 1x1 round, because that's all I had to work with. In the front center here, we're going to want to use a 1x1 brick with stud on one side. There are 4 of these in Cinderella's Magical Carriage. So I bought that set just for that piece. Here, use some purple bricks to fill in the rest of this level. So I had a corner brick, some 1x2s, and a 1x1. On top of this, we want a row of jumper plates here. I ran out of purple, so I've got a blue, a purple, and a blue. Then a 1x2 tile on the back, and a 1x1 tile, which doesn't exist in purple, so I used blue. It doesn't exist in dark purple, I should say. It does exist in old purple, so you could use that if you have it, but that's a pretty rare piece there, so blue is more likely for most people. 1x1 round plate on the very bottom. On the front here, going to do a lavender 2x2 round tile. Medium lavender, that is. Can connect this to the leg piece. For the upper torso, use a 2x3 plate. On the back, I'm going to use another one of these 1x1 bricks with a stud on one side. If you don't have those in purple, the color will be mostly hidden here, so you can get away with other colors. Put two 1x2 purple plates in the center there. 1x1 round at the top. A red 1x1 plate with round clips. And then some 1x1s with clips on top in red for the bow tie. Just fill these spots in with 1x1 bricks. On the top, some 1x2 tiles and a jumper plate. You really can't see the blue here, so it's definitely okay to use blue. And connect this to the bottom of the torso. The arm is an interesting construction here. So here's how you build the right arm. 1x2 plate, corner plate, then on top of that we'll do a corner plate connecting those. Then we'll do a 1x2 downward curvy slope there, and a 1x2 tile in that direction, 1x2 curvy slope there, a cheese slope to connect that. We'll do a 1x2 upward slope here. We'll connect the hand here, but we're going to hold off on that for a second. The left arm is going to be the mirror image of that. So 1x2 and a corner plate. Then I didn't have another corner plate, so I'm just using a 1x2 and a 1x1 round. Hang this 1x2 curvy slope off of it. 1x2 tile there. Cheese slope there. Curvy slope there. And 1x2 upward slope. So then your two arms should look like that. I actually like the way these arms turned out a lot. They're nice and chunky and curvy, very much like the actual animatronic arms. We can go ahead and connect them onto the body here. Basic version of the hand is a 1x2 plate with handles on the end. Only exists in blue, not in purple, so I'm using blue here. Then a jumper plate in blue or purple if you've got it, and 3 purple hands like that. So you can do those for really simple hands and then connect them onto the sort of wrist spots. So those are nice hands for Bonnie. Let us have a moment of silence for all the minifigs who gave their purple hands so that Bonnie could have some purple hands. This concludes the moment of silence. However, if you want Bonnie to hold his guitar, you're going to need a different type of hand here. So instead, use a black 1x1 plate with a clip like that. Then you're going to use a T connector with a 1x1 plate with clip on the top in blue. Going to connect that like that. Going to pull the jumper plate off the top of this. And we're going to connect this like so. So you can do a lot more positioning of the hand now, twisting it back and forth, twisting it up and down, twisting that up and down, twisting that. So there's a lot of movement here you can do. So this again will be important once we build Bonnie's guitar, but do the same thing on the other side. Black 1x1 plate with clip, T connector, and then a 1x1 plate with clip in blue in a different position this time. So connect that inside here, right there, and then pull off the jumper plate, or you could leave it on. I don't find it's very helpful. Connect like that. That's roughly how the hands should be positioned for the guitar, if I remember correctly. Build that soon. The center of Bonnie's head is very different from Freddy and Foxy's. It's kind of ingenious. You'll see as we do it. So this is a blue 1x2 with a 90-degree handle. Really important to have this piece. Blue is the best color to get it in for Bonnie. If it came in purple, that'd be awesome, but it doesn't. Then a 1x1 plate with clip going up. Color on this doesn't really matter. Same with this 1x1 here. Color and shape don't matter for that. Then a Travis brick facing that way with the hole same direction where the 1x2 plate is. So that's the inside of Bonnie's head here. On the bottom for the mouth, gonna get 1x2 downward slopes in purple. And then white 1x1 rounds there, so that can be the teeth. Then for the snout, what we'll do is you want to take 2 medium lavender 1x2s, connect them with another medium lavender 1x2, connect this with a purple 1x2, unless you're doing Toy Bonnie, in which case leave that blank. Then a black 1x1 round with a hole in the center, right through there. In the bottom of the Travis brick there, use a jumper plate. I saved my purple one for here. White 1x1 round with hole in it. 2 of those for the eyes. That in the bottom. There is the core of Bonnie's face, which I think looks really true to the game. For the sides, this is a 1x2 plate with 1x1 round, and a 1x2 plate with a 1x1 round. Put those together, put a 1x1 round. Again, this is the lack of 1x3s or 1x1 square plates in purple. Do 2 of those. Have one hanging down each side of the face. Fill out the face a little bit. On the top here, you can just do a 1x2 plate in purple. You could do a tile there, but I think the bumpiness helps finish the sort of roundness of the head. For the back of the head, nice big 2x3 plate. Then a 1x2 plate with handles on it, using blue. Could technically use light gray here if you want, or different color. It doesn't show up a whole lot. Then fill in this bottom here with whatever purple pieces you've got. So that could be 2 1x2s. I'm using a corner and a 1x1. Some 1x1 rounds on the top. Then for the ears, 1x1 blue plate with clip, or this could be light gray. Then you're going to do a medium lavender 1x2, then a 1x2 downward slope in purple, and then 2 1x1 rounds. The bent top of the ear there. Connect 2 of those to that piece, and connect all this by that center little piece there to the hole in the Travis brick. You'll notice that these clips can only go so far forward, so the ears tend to be bent back just a little bit. And then I like to bend the ears off to the sides a little bit. Now you're going to take that little blue connection point, stick it into the inside of that jumper plate hole, and then the head has a really nice range of motion and rotation. And now we've got a Bonnie who's looking pretty awesome. But let's build Bonnie his guitar. For the guitar, start with a red 1x1 with circle clips. And on the circle, have some white 1x1 plates with clips leading backward. Then we're going to use these big red spikes for the bottom of the guitar. So put them in there and then point them so they make a triangle. 1x2 tile in red. Fill out the outside of the guitar there. Then moving up, light gray 1x2 grill, then a black 1x2 plate, then a grill, then a plate, then a grill, and then a 1x1 plate with circle clip in black. Circle clip. For the very top, I'm using these dark gray cheese graters. Time to rock out. Now, even though we've turned Bonnie's hands so that it looks like Bonnie is holding the guitar, he can't really hold it. It's important to use some putty to hold this in place. So one spot we need it is a good chunk there. The other one is kind of back around here. Now this one, we sneak it in there. This clump on there fits right into that piece behind the hand there, right in the kind of inside of that gray T-piece. And that one on the back connects sort of in a similar spot on the other hand, so kind of have to press up on one and press down on the other at the same time. Now Bonnie's ready to rock out. Twist back and forth, head turn, body turn. Arms can kind of twist up and down. Very carefully. Can I join the band? No, you're a weird Bonnie. If you want to transform action figure Bonnie into Withered Bonnie, use the normal non-guitar holding versions of Bonnie's hands. Take off the eyepiece. Take off the mouthpiece. Take off this arm. Take off this hand. Replace that hand with a version of that hand that's all light gray. So that's a 1x2 plate with handles, 3 gray hands, and a gray jumper plate. Replace the other arm with a purple 1x1 with stud in one side, and then a T connector with some gray mechanical arms hanging out of it to kind of be the exposed wires hanging down. Could do other colors if you want. Now you have a withered version of Bonnie, which is very creepy, and I wouldn't recommend keeping around at night. If you want to turn Bonnie into Toy Bonnie, let's take off the snout here. Remember how I told you not to use this purple 1x2 plate here? Well, instead use 2 red 1x1 plates with circle clips and add a 1x1 round plate in red. One of those on each side. Now you've got our big rosy cheeks. Can connect the eyes again. And then, of course, replace purple with blue or dark azure and replace medium lavender with white. And I will do so through the magic of Photoshop. Photoshop magic, Photoshop magic, Photoshop magic. Thank you, Photoshop. And if you want to turn Bonnie into Springtrap, just build less of that ear over there. And then rather than using purple, use tan or gold or yellow as we talked about. And rather than using medium lavender, use dark tan, and then use dark tan down here as well. Photoshop magic, Photoshop magic, Photoshop magic. Yay, Photoshop. As I designed Bonnie, I realized I needed to redo Freddy a little bit as well. So for the top of the snout, I redid this in tan rather than brown, so it stands out a bit. And then for the tummy down here, I pulled out this section, which used to be brown bricks, and stuck a tan 1x1 brick with stud on one side. And then I've got a 2x2 round in tan, just a 1x1 tan plate there. So that kind of rounds it out into a nice oval shape with those little bits of square poking out at the top. Also, I didn't have a brown one there, so kind of had to do it this way. So that was just a slight change I made to Freddy based on working on Bonnie. I think they look pretty good together as a team. So that is Bonnie, Withered Bonnie, Toy Bonnie, and Springtrap. Thank you so much for watching this video. As I said, the next Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic I'm going to do is Chica. It'll probably be at least 2 months, if not a little bit more, until I have that built and have the video done. Thank you, as always, for your patience, and in the meantime, please enjoy my set review videos and keep telling me what you want to see me build in the future. Why doesn't Bonnie ever, like, bounce? Like, boing, boing, boing? I mean, he's a rabbit, right? Boing, boing, boing.
If you like this video, here are some other how to build videos you might enjoy.
Bonnie's ready to play the guitar. Because that's all that happens in Five Nights at Freddy's, right? Bonnie plays the guitar and everyone's happy. That's what I saw from the promo video, right? That was a joke. Here's a side-by-side comparison of what Bonnie looks like when you use dark purple as your purple for Bonnie, and when you try to use purple. Not a lot of good purple pieces. Just kind of sad Cyber Slam Throwbot reject pieces. Falls over pretty easy too. More like a weird spaceship. Poor Bonnie. Poor purple Bonnie. Photoshop magic. Photoshop magic. Oh, I knocked it over. Whoop! Sorry, Bonnie. Sorry, Bonnie, I knocked you over, and now I'm putting you back up again. I'm sorry, Bonnie. Boop,